Botani Mawedu, and welcome to the Sheds. We are back again, shedding the lights on everything that matters.
Is there a possibility to see, as you're unveiling those names, to see your former presidents such as Jacob Zuma emerging in act?
Me, I believe in leaders who emerge out of struggle. I don't believe in people who are made by the media.
The ANC is still trying to grapple with power. It is still trying, to cling on to power. And most probably that's why we're also even finding it very difficult for not just only the ANC, but also other political parties coming into the fore when it came to the review of the electoral bill.
We are talking about an 80.9 billion budget of the city of Johannesburg. Basically, to run the city, there's about 80 billion, 900 million that is involved. Somebody will ask, what does it mean to preside over a budget this big?
I haven't had time to sit back and say, hey man, well done. My focus really has been in ensuring that we are moving forward, we are sustaining. So maybe in December, sitting down with a glass of whiskey, I can say no. At least.
I want to ask this, doctor, because I think currently, as you've seen in our country, especially in the space of social media, you see people coming out having a meltdown of mental illness. Do you think people, because they don't know how to deal with it, some they just cause outbursts in those spaces? Do you think maybe the problem is that we're not having much discussion about it, that people, they don't know where to go when they start to experience?
The most important thing is that the people, they need to vote in line with the kind of future they want to live in. They can't be voting because of the past or not wanting to participate in voting at all. So what we're saying is the ATM critically, we need to invest in the future. And the future lies in educating our young people.
From the look of things and the researches that has been done, it looks like we won't get an outright majority.
The thing was always there, the phrase was there, but we needed to take it, clothe it, because I viewed it as civic activism with purpose that needed meat.
Actually, the breaking point was seeing the people that I looked up to, Baba, subjected into such things and they had to succumb to it.
Amazamazamas is the what meek, or I don't want to say meek, who are hard workers.
South Africa today spends 143 million rand every day paying these so-called independent power producers of renewable energy who deliver zero, because 100% of their power is redundant, meaning it is not usable in the grid.
I've got 3 clean audits. I've finalized more than 60,000 complaints and issued 412 reports. And by last year, it was only 14 or 17 which were set aside. And it's not even a percentage.
I think 30 years or so now down the line, the time to review the Constitution has come.
Welcome to the Sheds, another episode, a very interesting episode we have today. In studio, we have our guest, the lovely guest, Mr. James Moloi, who is the Athletic South Africa president. Welcome to the Sheds, Mr. James.
Thanks, Mr. Mpasana.
How are you?
I'm doing very well.
You've been elected the president of Athletic South Africa. And how, can you take us through what does it entail to be a president of Athletic South Africa?
Okay, I've been elected in 2021, 8th of May 2021, as a president of Athletics South Africa. I was a president of Central Gauteng Athletics for the period of 8 years. And then the provinces decided to call me in to say I must stand to be a president of Athletics South Africa. And I was fortunate because they've elected me as a president. It was not my intention, let me put it like that.
Okay.
I was thinking to go back to Central Gauteng to be the president for the third time, which was going to be the last year for me. But fortunately, they called me in and they voted for me. And then for that particular job, it's not a child's play, because now we've got plus minus 9 provinces that we have to serve.
Okay.
But in athletics, we don't have 9 provinces. We've got 17 provinces.
Okay.
Because Gauteng is divided into 3. Western province is divided into 3. And then some of the provinces, I'm not going to mention them all, 17 in terms of development. For that, it's only for in terms of development, because now if Gauteng can be one province, there will be no development, because they have to compete among themselves, because Gauteng is big. So that's why we have divided Gauteng into 3, so which is good, it works for us. But again, at the same time, I think we have to take care of the development, especially the whole of South Africa, because you know very well that you take care of development. We are equally level of SAFA, if I may put it like that, whereby you go to all these provinces and you elect the best athletes that you can send over. If, for example, there's a world championship overseas, so it's our duty to take, like Bafana, it's our duty to take those athletes overseas, the best athletes, because now you don't have to take anybody from the street just because he's white or black or brown. So it's by merit. So you put them all together and all that and send those athletes, and then they go and perform. But like I said, we came in, it's my 3rd year, and I think my 3rd year is going to be my 3rd year this year. But we are under pressure, because now everybody wants to see the development, everybody wants to see the medals and all that, to get the medals. Because I was in Budapest last time, whereby you see what happened there. Akani had a false start, and then we dropped the beta, and there were a lot of things that happened there. It was beyond our control. But now I think it's a high time now that we have to develop and get more athletes from all over the world, especially all over the provinces, especially KwaZulu-Natal, Limpopo, and other areas where we can get more pools of athletes, especially young athletes, because those ones are becoming tired now, especially the seniors, some of the seniors. So it's better to replace them with certain these individuals.
In fact, it's going to be my next question to say, how do you develop that talent, especially from rural areas, to make sure that you scout talent from grassroots development in terms of athletics? How do you identify and make sure that you develop it from the grassroots?
So what we did is that we took the president of SASA, which is primary schools and high schools. That president is one of my board members, which is becoming easy for us, because you give the information to him, and you give information to schools and all that, to say, please help the situation in order to identify those athletes. We've got a database where they have to put in the database, and we have got a monitoring system where we have to monitor those kids. So we've got the president of the universities is sitting on my board. So we've got primary schools and high schools sitting on my board, which is the president. And then we've got the president of the universities is sitting on my board. And then we've got president of the clubs that are there as presidents, being my board members. So it becomes very easy now, because now you know very well that it's a joint venture. The programs are one. We are using one program. We are not competing amongst ourselves, the universities and primary schools and all that. So it's becoming very easy for those teachers to go and scout from the schools, primary schools and high school, to scout talent. Immediately they identify the talent, and then they will just maybe send those names to Athletics South Africa for assistance. And then we are trying by all means to maybe to check the companies or different people that are going to help in terms of bursaries. Don't forget, some of these children, they fail to get the bursary. They're very good. Some of them, they don't get bursary. It's our duty to move around and try to get money to assist those children to go forward to the universities, and even outside the universities, we can see how we can help.
In fact, I wanted to zoom on to school, especially because schools, I think that's where a lot of children spend their time, because a lot of even parents, they complain that nowadays kids, they don't have a lot of time. They're busy with homeworks. They don't have a lot of time to play sports. I wanted to find out, to zoom into schools. Are there any leagues playing in schools, competitions?
We do have leagues. Yes, we do have. Now it's a cross-country season. Then we've got a very strong team that we are sending to Serbia. Very strong team.
When is that?
Serbia is the 30th of March.
Okay.
So most of those children, most of the competitors are coming from the schools or universities. So it's becoming very easy, because they are starting now in January, February, because they understand the school competitions now, especially for athletics now. They have got their own schools, after schools, maybe weekends, they do have leagues where they compete amongst themselves. And some of them, they have joined clubs. They do have professional clubs like Nedbank and other.
That they belong to.
Private companies that they belong to. So, but we have urged the schools to say, or university, you can open your own clubs and your own schools, so that you can keep those children together. And some of the principals, they want to see their children together. And then we've got coaches in universities and primary schools whereby that coach will stay with those children for a long, long time until the children decided to say, no, I'm leaving now, I'm going to join another club. That one is not a problem. But we are trying by all means to strengthen our development. We want to have somebody in all provinces to have a development officers beside schools, to have development officers. A person who will go around in the bundus and try to get the talents in clubs, especially not in schools, club, ordinary people that are running around and try to recruit some of these people to come and join athletics.
Okay.
But we are getting there.
But often, how do you make sure that, often our kids, they don't end up just playing at a school level and it ends there in townships, but they're elevated to be able to play in nationally and be able to represent South Africa? How do you make sure that the system fits into the professional leagues?
I think that one is very easy because in the townships, we do have clubs in all the townships.
Okay.
I'll give you a good example. With First Laurels, we've got plus minus 3 clubs. I'm just giving you a good example. In Soweto, I think we've got about 20-something clubs in Soweto only.
Hello.
So you can imagine immediately, and we've got coaches, and don't forget we've got chairpersons, we've got coaches. Immediately when they identify an athlete, they will inform the province, and the province will inform Athletics South Africa that we have identified these athletes. It's a 200 meters or a hurdle or a shot put or a javelin or whatever case might be. It's going to be our duty now just to say, okay, put that athlete in the monitoring system so that we can monitor that athlete. And then from there, if there's a competition, serious competition, we do have what we call South African championships. You start from your province first and you become a champ from your province, different provinces. And then after provinces, we do have what we call the South African championships, where you have to go and compete there again. Immediately you compete, you become top 10 and all that. These are the pool of athletes that we are going to identify as Athletics South Africa. Okay. It's no more provincial matters now. It's a Athletics South Africa matter now.
Okay, it's national.
It's a national now. But what we normally do is that we identify those athletes maybe a week before or 2 weeks before now. We will summon them together. They will be together. And then when they move, going overseas, we'll move together. But what we are intending to do now going forward, because there was a complaint whereby, especially the relays, to say they just meet on Friday and then on Sunday they're running. So they said they just want to meet maybe a month before or 3 weeks before so that they can know each other better. So now we spoke to different companies and then the MEC last week to say, if you can, we can have the finances so that we can just put those teams together, especially international teams when they leave, so that they can be together, not just because it's a relay, all of them. Mm-hmm. They can be in one place so that when they move together, and even those the relay ones will just practice and they move together, maybe and they know each other better. So it's what we're intending to do going forward, as from now going forward. Before the financial constraint, it used to be a week or 3 days or 4 days, but now we just want to make it about 3 weeks or a month so that they can be together. I think it's going to help us because now most of those athletes are going to be motivated because they are moving with the coaches. They are going to be there with the coaches. Yeah. And then we've got different coaches. We've got a javelin coach. They are busy with the shot put coach and the middle distance, which is 800 meters, 1,005, and then the marathon coach. So you can see.
Yeah. Let's talk about marathons as well, especially the one that we know in South Africa is coming in June. The comrades, the match talked about and everyone talks about them. And I'm glad that you mentioned the partnership that you're forming with government, the sports department as well. And there's been a lot of cries and complaints among athletes to say it's hard for them to get sponsorship to compete at comrades. They spend more money to be able to make it into. Take us through that. How are we helping them to make sure that they...
Yeah, Comrade Marathon is a total different event because don't forget, international is only till up to 100 kilometers. So we use Comrade Marathon to choose the team, maybe some of the members that are going to represent us in 100 kilometer. Because do you know what South Africa is? We are dominating in terms of the ultra marathons in the world, Japan and South Africa. So now it's so difficult because most of the people that are running Comrade Marathon are individuals. Those who are individuals. So now to identify those athletes, especially those who are going to represent South Africa, you must go to the professional clubs which is Nedbank, I can mention them all, is where you can identify those athletes. But as long as people are not coming forward, we are just waiting, especially if you are good enough. You must belong to a club, but most of them, they belong to clubs. Because you can't run Comrade Marathon if you're not belong to a club. It's totally different. So you must belong to a club.
So is the membership that they have to
that's correct.
get and the fee they must pay?
Yeah, the fee that they must pay. So when they are there, the club will identify that particular athlete. If the club has got problems, and then that particular club will inform us and said, we do have these athletes, and then it's battling in terms of the resources and all that, is where we can come in and try to see how can we help in terms of getting other companies, maybe like brand companies, shoe companies, to assist that particular athletes, because we know very well that we're investing in those individual athletes. But there are those athletes that are running just for fun, but they don't have sponsors. But we can't do it for everybody. For everybody. So we just identify those good athletes that are going to represent the country.
Yeah. Take us through that just a general, paint a picture to us to say how much will it cost one athlete to be able to participate in Comrades in terms of preparation, the monies, the fees, and the training, everything, the gear as well. Yeah.
To train for Comrade Marathon is not a child's play. That one I don't want to lie to you. Because you have to train plus minus 180 kilometers per week, which is not a child's play. 180 kilometers per week. And then you need some supplements, some supplements. You have to buy some vitamins and supplements and all that. And then you have to have two pairs of shoes, training shoe and a competition shoe. You might find out that training shoe will never last for about 6 months or 3 months, and some of these people are using one shoe to compete and to train, and you can't do that. You're going to mess up. You'll have injuries and all that. So that's why I'm saying it's very expensive to run Comrade. It's better to get somebody or
how much are we talking?
Yeah, it can be plus minus 5,000 to 8,000 rand plus minus if you want to prepare for Comrade fully. Yeah.
Okay, Mr. James Moloi, I just wanted to chip in to go to, the international sports, that competition that will be this year. What are some of the major competitions that Athletics South Africa will be sending its athletes to participate in?
It's going to be a very busy year for Athletics South Africa, because now we have to start now. We have started last year in terms of preparations, because this year the first event that we are going to have is a cross country in Serbia. It's international. It's a world championship. It's going to be in Serbia.
Okay.
So that one, we are busy with that one. I think we have finalized the team. The team is ready, and they're just going to leave on the 23rd. I think they're going to leave on the 23rd of March or February, 23rd of February, so that they can have enough chance to prepare themselves. So that is the team that we are sending. This is the first team that we are sending. And then the next team, don't forget, we are preparing for the Paris, the Olympics.
It's
where the pressure is at the present moment. So now we have started last year in December. We have called all the athletes, especially the relay athletes, to come and practice in Potchefstroom. So they were there for about 3 days, practicing together. So now we are going back to the drawing board. We called all the athletes 2 weeks back. And we call them athletes in Daba, where we are going to say, we said to them, okay, explain what you want to do, and then tell us your plans and all that, because we are now preparing for the Olympics. They told us what they want, the recommendations and all that. So as a board, we are still going to meet and tackle those recommendations and see how we can help the situation, because the Olympics is so important for us, and everybody wants to run the Olympics. So we are busy preparing for the Olympics. The Olympics is going to be now in August, the beginning of August. July, from July till up to August. So we are preparing for that one. We just want to put the team together, but we have opened the qualifications. It's a very tough qualifications till up to the end of June. Immediately after the end of June, we've got a team already, plus minus 40 people that have already qualified from athletics. But don't forget, till up to...
And talk about the numbers. How many numbers are we planning to take this year?
we are intending to take plus minus 50 from athletic side. Don't forget we've got different sporting codes, but from our side we want to take 50. But it all depends whether they've qualified or not. So we gave them till up to the end of June to qualify. Anybody can qualify till up to, including yourself, till up to the end of June. So immediately after the end of June, we are going to announce the team. But don't forget, we are not going to be part of the team anymore. Immediately when we announce the team, we are going to give the team to SASCOC. We are not going to be part of that team anymore. So the managers and the coaches, they are going to be there with the team of SASCOC. Now the team is called SASCOC team. South African team is controlled by SASCOC. At the present moment, we are preparing the team, but immediately after the 30th, we gave the team to SASCOC to take over. But don't forget, we must make it a point that we've got a very solid team. Because if athletics are not doing very well, I must answer. Understand? I have to answer.
But in terms of answering, I wanted to ask you, since you've been in a hot seat as a president of Athletic SA, what are your, in terms of the medals as well? Because I think that's what people will judge you on that as well. What's your target? Do you have a target?
No, we do have a target. If maybe from plus minus, if you can get plus minus 5 gold medals from athletic point of view, and then maybe silver, three silvers and bronze. I don't need bronze, but if and only if they are there, you just to add the numbers. Because don't forget, internationally, you can have 13 or 36 bronze or silver. I can have 5 gold medals. I can be number one, if you understand very well. The value of the gold is more than silvers and all that. So that's why we are not pushing for other numbers, but we are pushing for gold medals. So if we can have a plus minus 5 gold medals, that's why we are pushing too much. We just want to concentrate too much in relays, because we know where we can get a lot of medals, relay, and then we can leave the other ones, the individuals ones, they will make it a point that they run for their monies. But that's our target at the present moment. If and only if it's beyond that, it's going to be a borders for us.
Okay, just on that as well, still on the international, and talking about preparation to go for Olympics in July. And we know, I'm sure South Africans as well, they really miss the star athlete Caster Semenya, and you know what can you just update us? What's the status in terms of her participation?
Yeah, but that's one I think maybe because we are busy with the case. That's why I'm not going to say much till we finish the case, because the case is still on. We are still going to attend the case immediately after the case is finished, and then we can report back to you guys.
Okay. In terms of your legacy now, looking back, how much would you say you have achieved thus far being a president, and what are some of the challenges that you're battling with? To say these are the challenges within athletics.
When I came in, I think, let me just be honest to you, we didn't have the TV contract from Athletics South Africa. It was ad hoc, where we will go to SABC and said, please, can we sign this year, next year? It was ad hoc, let me put it like that. And then you can't work like that, ad hoc, all the years and all that, because you can't even prepare yourself. And don't forget the money that we're getting, from those companies, the money that we are using to send those athletes internationally, because we have to work around. Don't forget, the government gives us money once a year, and then these competitions are many. So you can't survive without sponsorship or any contract. So I managed to secure the sponsorship of SuperSport for a period of 5 years. So they are giving a certain amount for a period of 5 years. So it's how we survived. And then the other thing is that we promised that the athletes, if they're going to do very well, I think we are going to organize them, what we call it, awards.
Oh, okay.
We were having awards last week.
When they come back from there.
Don't forget the end of December. So we must reward them or award them. So we decided to award them in January, understand? So they were there, I award them. But thirdly, there are companies that they are standby for sponsorship, because you can't survive. You can be how good, a good leader, but if you don't have money, you can't survive. So we have acquired sponsorship. Lotto is there, it's been assisting us. SPA, they've been there, they've been assisting us. But at the present juncture, you only need a big company that's going to take over track and field for a period of 5 years, or even if I'm not there. But we know very well that others will continue with that particular company. So maybe sooner or later we'll announce which company is going to help us in terms of growth. But if we can get those 3, I think I'll know very well that I'm getting somewhere. And then the other one is one of the development. If the structure of the development can be solid and can be financed, I'll know that I've been achieving whatever that I promised to achieve. the sponsorship for the TV rights and everything. So TV has been sorted. Sponsorship will be sorted soon. The awards has been sorted. So there are a lot of things that have achieved and all that. So we are just waiting for the other, or televising. So the event was not televised. Most of it was delayed.
Yes.
So now all our South African championships are televised live. And then what we intended to do is that sometimes in the rural areas, it's not easy to get a sponsorship. Now I've asked the TV to just, if they can, televise provincial championships in all rural areas, including in Joburg. I think it's going to help the situation whereby the provinces can get sponsorships going forward.
Yeah. Mr. James Moloi, thank you very much for coming to the show. We hope to invite you again next time. We still have a lot to talk about the role that you're doing in athletics. So it's been another fascinating program talking all things athletics in South Africa. You've been watching the Sheds program. I'm flying solo today. My colleague is not here, Nyani Sojeko. See you later.